Hey, what's popping? So about a week ago at this time of the recording, which is about June 24th, if you're wondering, if you're curious, I don't know. I heard of a Netflix show called Kipo in the Age of Wonderbests that was supposedly pretty alright. It was pretty solid. Man, that was an understatement. This show is amazing and I'm here to break it all down. Before we start, 94% of you aren't subscribed, and well, that's just a darn shame now, isn't it? Also, shout out to you. You are a homie. And with that out of the way, it's time for my review of... So off the bat, I was floored by the color scheme of the show, especially the nighttime stuff. All of the purple and pink with the blues is beautiful. It's not only used for being pretty, but it's also set the mood for suit and place or character. Like I discussed before in my video about Undertale, that's super important, and they nailed it. It doesn't bother me that Kipo is pink because it just fits her character so well. I also love the designs of the characters, the wolves, the frogs, Dave. It's all perfect and interesting to see it used in this way. It's unusually good. Speaking of unusually good, the music is insane. The music matches up perfectly with each situation and character. Like every character has some sort of motif or style in the background that's almost like a video game. The Timbercats have country music with banjos and acoustic guitars. When they are on screen, the Mob Frogs have a weird hybrid of classical music and EDM, and I love it. Benton and Dave have an old school hip hop feel that plays whenever they do something cool. The Wolves have a drill beat in the background. Kipo herself even has one, having a poppy/R&B feel. Whenever it's all composed beautifully. If it's not even an original song, they used a licensed one that still fits, and it's great. Oh yeah, that's right. You heard me. There's original music that they made themselves, and it's not cringy. It's actually pretty good. These guys are geniuses. Wait, they've composed what before this? Oh really? Oh, that makes more sense.
Oh yeah, it's all coming together.
The animation is spectacular. If a person is standing in place, they are always like moving their hands or head to match what they're saying and go along with the conversation or mood. The fight scenes are always super fluent and fast-paced, and it's great. Wolf's movements are crazy with all the bow staff stuff with Stocky. Kipo's Jaguar mutation stuff is crazy. Heck, like every time Jamak is on screen, like every single fight he does is just amazing to watch. It's eye-catching and appealing to the eyes. Everything is just so silky, smooth, and clean. I can also see the similarity in anime, but also staying distinctly Dreamworks, especially with the shape of the eyes and the pupils, which I thought was pretty neat. Let's talk about characters. Kipo is just super likable as a main character, which is easy to believe because she's just friends with everybody in this world. She's like the new Steven, except not annoying. I also like that she's not this straight edge, perfect person, but also has inner turmoils with herself, like not wanting to fight her people, but then having to, and now seeing that it worked, only believes that's the only way to stop Amelia and the humans from killing everybody else. It's just, and Dave being the one to snap her out of it, of all things? That was an interesting episode. Wolf is a character who I think might have gone through the most growth as a character. At the beginning being a stone-cold killer, and at the end gives up that life to be with Kipo and her family. I also love that she learns this from, like, being with Scarlemagne of all people. Well, we'll get to him later. I also just like Wolf's backstory in general. That she was actually raised by wolves and was trained to be prey while being tricked into thinking that she was family, which is kind of messed up, bro. Benson and Dave are the OG mute human friendships, and I love the episode dedicated to that story in late season 3. It was well worth the wait through the show. It also answered a lot of questions, Like why Dave always wants to take charge. It's because he was in charge at one point, and he's the last of his kind. I also love Benson's style. He, like Kipo, is a super likable character, and him and Dave's chemistry is just that great, good Dreamworks humor I have been missing dearly, and I'm such a fan of.
Well, if you are messing with forces you can't possibly understand, you do not want to make that cheese mad.
Kipo's parents, Leo and Song, were all really, really cool characters, and I wish we got to see more of them, honestly. Like, I kind of wanted to see more about what happened to Song as her time as a mega monkey under Amelia's control. It would have been interesting to see. Speaking of which, let's talk about the villains. So Scarlamagne / Hugo is the main villain of Season 1 and 2. He was actually a lab experiment that Kipo's parents took care of and abandoned when everything went to crap. How dare you? He hates all humans, and Kipo must stop him with the power of friendship and Mega Jaguar. And also, I like that he isn't redeemed at the end of Season 2. We get the hints that he maybe is a good person under all of that, with given the new star blanket and everything. I like that he didn't change right away. I feel like it would have felt really cheap if they did it that way. Him seeing Kipo risk her own life for everybody else and almost being stuck as a Mega Jaguar forever. That was great. And Scarlamagne thought so too, which is why he went through the redemption process in Season 3. And it felt natural. It was executed perfectly and organic. It felt a lot like Peridot and Lapis Lazuli in Steven Universe. Also like that, unlike Steven, they have an unredeemable villain. I honestly thought Scarlamagne as a villain was good, but not super intimidating. But man, Amelia is terrifying. Demutating tons of characters and turning Song into a monkey, and even killing her own brother because they didn't agree on the same viewpoint of mutes being good or bad. And her punishment? Spending eternity with a mute that wants nothing more than to be her best friend.
Ironic.
I also feel like it was a smart choice to have young Yumian be the first character to be demutated. He was Kipo's first mute ally, and it's really big loss and changes the stakes entirely. The themes of this is beautiful. No one is too far gone and can be saved, but not everyone would want to be. But remember, you will always have your friends and family, which is just a great lesson for kids to learn. Heck, for everyone to learn, dang it. I honestly set out to do the job of Steven Universe, but did it better. The ending is beautiful. Hugo being the villain for majority of the show, sacrificing himself to save Kipo and the family he always wanted, and got also something else he always wanted since he was a little baby monkey, to be known as a hero. 5 years later, getting a statue put up of him, and Kipo's dream being realized. Humans and mutes living together, and there being no more conflict. Also, this makes her and Benson 18 and Wolf 15. I also love their redesign. It shows how much they actually have grown up. Kipo with a punk rock design, Benson looking fresh as ever, and Wolf no longer wearing the wolf cloak that she wore the whole series, but now just wears the black shirt with a hoodie tied around her waist. All of them leading the new way of the age of Wonderbests. Now Sam, there has to be a catch here. There has to be something wrong with the show. Surprisingly, there isn't many problems at all. Only have 6. That's right, 6. Very, very small problem. Number 1, I wish we got to find out what Dave's weakness was. Or maybe Amelia figuring it out and raising the stakes a little bit more. Number 2, so if Benson was alone before he met Dave and never hung around any other humans, how did he know he was gay? I also wish that they handled him coming out. Maybe they would have handled it maybe a bit differently. Like Kipo starts liking him at Ratland, you know, like the show originally sets up. But then she doesn't just like blurt it out on accident, you know, or on purpose. I'm still a little bit confused on that. But this time, Kipo kind of keeps it to herself and has it linger for a little bit. They have Benson meet Troy and Kipo be unaware that he's gay still and being like a little bit jealous, I guess. And then maybe Benson has to find a way to like break it to Kipo, and they have like a nice conversation about it. I feel like it could have added some more drama and maybe would have been more interesting to see. Or not. I could just be dumb and this be a horrible idea. Let me know in the comments. Number 3. I wish we got more of Kipo's Burrow friends. Mainly Troy, Asher, and Dahlia. They just felt like that they were there and weren't doing much. Number 4. I feel like the storyline of the vaccine was abandoned and I'm not entirely sure what happened there. Number 5. I'm a little bit disappointed that we never found out what caused the mutes to rise up and what caused them to mutate in the first place and started the whole apocalypse. It hints at a virus like Planet of the Apes, and me not knowing is just gonna haunt me. And finally, number 6, I wish we saw more of Jamak in season 3. I kinda wanted to see the struggles he might go through since all of his people were either killed by the Mega Bunny or turned into gold. I am honestly confused about this. Why have I never heard of this show until now? It is an amazing return to form for Dreamworks since it's the first 2D animation of theirs since 2003! 17 years before the show came out. Why was this not marketed more? I needed to know. It makes me wish Dreamworks took the time to make everything this good. I mean, I looked it up and it's the highest rated thing they've ever made. And I think it deserves it. I think it belongs up there in Dreamworks' God place heaven with Shrek, Kung Fu Panda, and yours truly, Shark Tale.
Are you kidding me? Are you out of your mind?
That's a joke, by the way. I love Shark Tale, but you a bad movie, my friend. Now to rate Kipo myself. In my head, I have an idea of a perfect cartoon. I've only had one show meet that standard, and it's Gravity Falls, 10 out of 10, perfect, there's nothing wrong with it. And slightly under that is Avatar: The Last Airbender, 9.8. It was almost perfect, but that Ozai fight was super underwhelming and lame. And Invincible has been perfect so far, but the show isn't over yet, and it's way too early to tell. A video coming up on that soon, by the way. But I'm gonna put Kipo right under Avatar. It is so painfully close, but there's just a few continuity issues that hold it back a little bit from being the perfection I think it was so close to being and deserves. I give it a 9.5 out of 10. All I have to say is I hope we get more Kipo in the future with like a spin-off movie or maybe an extra epilogue series of them being all grown up that isn't horrible like Steven Universe Future. And have a good day, friends!